And I am going to introduce you. So can everyone see Dr. Porter and we're good? You can hear? Okay. So welcome everyone. My name is Danielle Mioli. I am one of the founders of Awakened as well as the Chief Sales Officer. I've introduced a lot of products and sold a lot of things in my lifetime in my 30-year career. And I can honestly say that what Dr. Porter is about to share with all of you who are watching, some of you for the first time, is his life's work that was introduced back in '86. Dr. Patrick Porter is an entrepreneur, an author, best-selling author, but he also has a technology that has changed my life overnight and so many others. And now we're going to take this thing out to the globe, to the world. He's done a lot of that work already, but now Awakened has the blessing of doing so. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Dr. Porter.
All right, great. I'm gonna share the screen and we'll get started here. So I'm going to do, I've shortened this a little bit from last week, so hopefully we get through it in 20 minutes. Obviously a lot of you have seen some of this before, but what we're talking about is the awakened mind. We're talking about how can we wake up our mind, and we're talking about how can we get the mitochondria, how can we get our brain back energized so that that powerful affirmations you're using that we talked about at the beginning is actually working and activating for you. And the problem we have is that most people are running around in survivor mode. And when I talk about survivor mode, this causes something to happen. And I know one of the biggest things we do at Awaken is weight loss. So when you're in survivor mode, I'm going to show you a screen in a little bit that actually proves why stress is more fattening than chocolate. Because your liver has 25 grams of sugar in it all the time. It's there to protect you so that if you have a saber-toothed tiger or you have to flee from something, it instantly puts that in the bloodstream. Now, your bloodstream can only have 1 tablespoon of sugar at any one time. That's 5 tablespoons. So that means your body has to produce fat to store that sugar. Now, if you're constantly getting stressed out or you're living in the survivor mode, your body is either a sugar burner or a fat burner. And we want you to be a fat burner because that's what helps you to lose weight and you get to tap into all that stored energy. To do that, we have to get you into the thriving brain. Now, some people are just in the thriving brain naturally because they're able to turn off that sympathetic drive and turn on their parasympathetic system. Because of my practice, I found that most people aren't able to do that. So when I invented the technology in the first place, it wasn't for weight loss. It was actually for pain control. But opioids just came on the market. So what I'm proud to say that we'll probably talk about this at a later time, but in Brazil, I just returned a few weeks ago where we had 3 university studies prove that BrainTap, the Awakened Mind product, actually beat out opioids in 3 studies for fibromyalgia to reduce pain. So if some of you are feeling less pain, that's because the brain is the most powerful pharmacy on earth. And when you get into these deeper states of alpha and theta, which is where we're going, the brain naturally produces analgesia, which is the brain's natural painkiller. We do it naturally all the time. Now, as we look at, some of you have never seen BrainTap, so I thought I would do this earlier today. So imagine with me that you're about ready to put the headset on. Your eyes are closed. These lights are actually working with cranial nerve 2, not with the eyes. So your eyes are closed, but something called photobiomodulation is taking that light from the eyes, which actually houses the most mitochondria per square centimeter, and is absorbing it into the brain, because your eyes are not just attached to the brain, your eyes are actually brain matter. So when we do that, what happens is when a cell fills up with energy in the form of ATP, it then shares that energy to the next cell around it. So when we put the light in this way, and then we have a frequency, those eye lights, in just a moment, my next slide, I'm going to show you what we're doing with those lights. But if you saw at the very beginning, there was when I was bringing in, see the lights in the ears? That's actually using auricular therapy or acupuncture, as a lot of people would call it, but we're using light to do it because all the meridians in the body come through the ears. All the blood in your body goes through your ears every 3 to 4 minutes. So what we want to do is we want to fill up the lights with the light. As the blood's going through the ears, there's hemoglobin in there that absorbs light. Then it goes directly from the ear into the brain. And that's what we can measure when we're measuring things on the neural check, which some of you experienced when we were in Charleston. Now, the science has been well founded. So when I went to India just a little while ago, a few years ago, Dr. Varun, who just informed me on the 25th of this month, I'm getting an award where I'm the researcher of the year in India, and they're renaming their neurocenter, Brain Tap Neurocenter, because we revolutionized the way that they look at meditation, believe it or not, in India. Because he said to me, he goes, you know, when I first met him, he says, "You're cheating. Why are you having people do this?" And I said, well, we didn't really think about it at first for meditation. We thought about it for pain control and for some other things, new, what we call biofeedback. But I said, Varun, have you ever meditated to a candle? And he said, yeah, all the time. I said, well, what a candle flickers at is 10 hertz frequency, just like the ocean. So some of you might think, wow, when I'm sitting by the ocean, I start to feel really relaxed and comfortable. That's because when you start to activate this alpha brainwave activity, or when you're around friends, let's say, you know, when Einstein said, when you're around a beautiful woman for an hour, it seems like a minute. When you're sitting on a hot stove for a minute, it seems like an hour. It's because our brain processes time differently. In alpha, we release something called acetylcholine. This is what makes us feel good. So when we start to do that, it's going to help our mental health. When we're in that survivor brain, we actually stop the production of acetylcholine and we produce more norepinephrine, more of the stress hormones, and more dopamine. So we want to create the flow states, not the stress states. Now, a lot of people think meditation is going to the mountains and meditating. And what I asked Varun is, I said, have you ever noticed that all the gurus seem to go into the Himalayas and meditate? I said, you know, believe it or not, they're cheating. And he said, what do you mean? I said, there's a frequency in the mountains. It's 7.8 hertz frequency. In science, we call it the Schumann frequency. It's the frequency of the earth. So if you and I were on a spaceship moving toward Earth, we could measure the frequency of the planet from 0.5 to 100. Our brain also has an evoked potential, which means it responds to that frequency of 0.5 to 100. 100 being high gamma. Very few people ever get to that. They have had people in labs that are master meditators get there, but we do have sessions for gamma. We have sessions for that are used a lot of times when people are trying to get their, think of gamma as your bass drum for the brain. So when we're doing dementia studies or we're doing Alzheimer's studies, which by the way, we had a dementia study where it's now in a bigger study down at Seminole College, but every person in our pilot study was off the dementia scale in 6 weeks. And we're doing a bigger study for that. And we're still finding with all the clinics that we have, we're sticking with the same thing, 6 weeks, 3 times a week. And people on the dementia scale are finding that they're no longer on that scale. Now, if you're doing the nutrition with it, you're going to get even better results, because we're doing this, when we do the studies, we can't use nutrition because then they'll say it was the nutrition. We know nutrition works because number one, you can't have a good brain without proper nutrition. Number two, we got to get the body moving and breathing. That's why, you know, when you're at the events, you're doing yoga or Tai Chi or dancing, whatever you're doing to breathe and move is really good for the nervous system. Unfortunately, most people hang around in the city. When you get into the busy cities, and we all know people that won't go into the mall. And if you know somebody like that won't go into the mall because it's too hectic, if you're demoing the awakened mind to them, I would use really low light at first, because their brain isn't used to having too much going on. In fact, I would just click the button one time if you own the equipment and you're demoing it with somebody. Somebody asked me that in an email, and I thought I should mention that tonight. Also, always use the demo program that we encoded for you, because that's going to be the best one to move them through the experience the first time. It's not too aggressive. It's more of an alpha training than it is a theta training. But as you train the brain, you'll want to go deeper into theta, and you'll want to have more lights typically. Now, we're really here because we found that for successful people in your industry, direct selling, everyone knows that the difference between the real producers and the people that can't get out of the driveway on Monday morning is it's in their mind. So when you think about the most expensive real estate that you have, it's that 6 inches between your ears. So it can create wealth or can take it away. It's been said that if we split up all the money on earth today, we'd all get about $3 million. And within 10 years, the 20% that have the money today would have it again, because they have a mindset to make and keep and retain money. So within the Brain Tap system, I know by the end of this week, I think early next week, you're going to have access to my business programs that are in there. I have 17 sessions for Think and Grow Rich. I have 43 different business books that are my favorite, like the Secret to Having Money is to Have Some, or The Power of Thinking Big, and all the books you can think of that people have told you to read over the years. As a Man Thinketh, that was one that I had to read when I was a child, when I got in trouble. So you just have to think about all these books are there to expand your brain and your awareness. But the biggest thing is, how do we keep energy in the brain? And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the awakened mind. Now, I'm not just saying it because I produced this product. We actually did a research project about it. We took the top producers at Google, Microsoft, and these were engineers. So they're not always the best to teach to relax. You know, they're very logical, very linear people. So we broke it down. They did a series with, and this will be available too. This whole series will be available to all of you as part of our offering. Julie Arnn is a peak performance specialist, and she was already getting phenomenal results. So we had to prove to her that when she added the Awakened Mind or the Brain Tap to the program, how it would reduce. The one thing that I was really blown away is the number one thing here: depression reduced by 71%. We didn't tell these people in the study what was going on, because if we would have told them beforehand, they wouldn't have believed us. They didn't know they were depressed. These were the high achievers. These were the 1%ers of their industry. So they were so busy being busy on their job, they didn't realize that they were losing. And the reason we did this study, by the way, was burnout. Right now, there's a mass exodus out of these tech companies because they're getting burned out. You know, when you're in the stress, you think that's normal. So we reduced their stress by 45%. We increased their quality of sleep to 48%. And we used a gadget that you wear on your wrist, similar to what I have on here. This is not a watch. It's called a No Watch. It actually monitors all my vitals. And if I get stressed out, I just click it, and then I can put that stress into my, it'll tell me what was going on, and it creates an algorithm for me and tells me when I should do a relaxation session. It's something I'm playing with right now. But we gave it to them to use. And then but the big thing too was they were 26% increase in performance. That's almost impossible to take an A student. This is a double A student. These are the best of the best. And they improve in Google and Microsoft, they measure every keystroke. So these guys don't get a day off. They don't get a minute off. And the one thing that changed, we did a quality of life score index. They were 41% more positive. This is important because those people that look at life as a series of challenges are more positive than those people that look at life as a series of threats. They become more negative, and it also helps what we call psychoimmunology to help you to become more productive in your life. Now, I wanted to show you when for those that weren't here last week, and this might be the last time I show these slides, but when we met Ashley and Rodney, I went down, I was in California, I drove down to their place in near San Diego, and we did a scan with them. And you can see she's pretty good shape right away. You know, she's 32 years old. She showed up as a 29-year-old. After the brain tap, she showed up as a 25-year-old. The harmonization is her heart rate variability. That means how quickly does her body respond to stress. She's already in good shape. She probably wouldn't be one of the founding members if she wasn't able to handle stress. So she was able to do that, but she took it all the way up to 99. What I told her was, if you can listen to a brain tap session at least once a day before the conference, that 99% is going to be your baseline when you show up. So what happened? This was after an airplane. I didn't want to test her when she just got off the airplane, but Paul did it, and it was still 96. And those were at the event, saw some of my scores. When I got off the airplane, I was looking pretty bad. Mine went all the way down to 13. So for hers to maintain a 96 after flying across the country, that's pretty impressive. And so these are the way that the brain works. So when you think about the brain and what it does, now this index shows us when people say to you, I don't eat sugar, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, it's because they're stressed. You can see the metabolism down here, the energy pyramid. And Ashley is not overweight at all. Her metabolism is 235. She's bringing in 110 units of energy, burning 125. That's a fat burning machine. But you can see she took it from 235 to 383, because that's what stress is like, a governor on the metabolic system. When I was featured in People magazine way back in 2006, we had sent them over 1,000 people that had lost half their weight and kept it off for more than 5 years. So what we can do is we tell people it's not always what you eat, it's what's eating you. Now, when you add in the great supplements like you have, it's just going to accelerate the process. If you're stressed out and you're taking those good supplements, you're not going to get the same benefit. You'll still get a benefit because supplementation will help. But when you do the brain tap or you do some kind of stress reduction, you've turned on the parasympathetic. There's a reason they call it the rest, digest, and recover state. So when you're in that state, you can do better. And you can see she came back, her neurohormonal. This is mental fitness we're talking about up here. She was already good. A 73 is good. Anything over a 50 is good. Usually clients that come into the clinic are about a 13, just to give you an idea. So she took it up to 96 and kept there. When she stepped off the airplane, she was 370 units of energy. She's basically cranked it up to be a fat burning machine. Now, we don't just do weight loss, obviously, because there's a lot of people out there that wonder, what can we do for things like dementia or TBIs or things like that? So this study is now in a group of 12 people in the NFL to do a neuroprotective study. They're doing the same thing, but we took Dr. Arkefeld, who's a doctor who works in Gaylord, Michigan. He took everyone in the high school that had a head injury during the year. 50% of, they all got treatment. 50% of them got brain tap at the end. And then when they went back to play, which means the doctor said, hey, you're cleared to play. They went back to play a year from that date. We went back in and we did all the neurological testing. And what we found was that there was a 30 to 70% neurological improvement with the group that used brain tap over the people that just walked out of the office and left. So we did this study to show that recovery is key. Stress is bad, but if you don't recover from stress, the brain never disengages and you never stop. Again, as long as you're a sugar burner and that stress is part of that sugar burner, your body can't heal. Your brain is water and fat. That's really all it is. So if you feed it the wrong, basically, materials, it will burn out. So it's a really strong study, and all these studies are available to you. We actually have a book online on Amazon that you can buy with all of our studies in it. We have over 17 studies in there, and we're adding 6 more. And as we're sitting here today, we have 12 studies going on in the background, because it seems like every time we do a study with the university, they want another one. And we don't have to pay for it. The nice thing is that these universities are getting grant money and doing these studies all on their own. We're starting one in Brazil right now. They're putting together the team, and they're going to do it on Parkinson's, because we've had really good results with Parkinson's, but we don't have a statistical study done. But we will have that done. Probably it'll take 6 months to a year, but we're working on that. Now, when people talk about, when you think about sleep, and I know one of your supplements that you're either going to have or have right now is it's going to help sleep. Sleep is going to help your friends, your family. They're going to thank you the most because you're going to help them sleep. You know, when you look around at the people on the call today, 1 in 3 are sleeping. The other 2 aren't. So if you're the one sleeping, you should smile. And those that aren't, you know, you should be, you know, figuring out what you can do, because sleep is so key to heal the brain. But in 2016 in Scientific American, when I put it here, you can look this up on the internet and share it. It's a article that you can find on there on page 45. It talks about something called the glia lymphomic system. And what it says is, if you don't reach level 4 sleep, your brain never detoxes. And this is important for all of our family and friends that are going through long COVID or that aren't sleeping right now. If we don't clear out the toxins, we can't start the healing process. So this is where the Awakened Mind comes in, getting people to sleep deeply, because we have sessions that drop people off into Delta and put them to sleep. So we have 10-minute sessions in the morning to wake up your brain. We call it digital coffee. And then we have sessions in the middle of the day that we call a reboot, that reboot the brain. And then we have sessions in the evening right before sleep. We call it Sleep RX. And that app actually in 2022 got the best app of the year at the Consumer Electronics Show. So people find it's very good to use. So this is my last slide. I just want to show you, these are the universities as we're sitting here today that are doing studies with BrainTap. And this summary of brain fitness research featuring BrainTap technology, that's what you can find on Amazon for like $11. That's the technology we're sharing. And we made it available as a book so that people could show them a book doing it, and then it protects us in several different ways, because it's not only research, but it's actually published. So we have certain rights when we use that. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Danielle, so you can continue the conversation.
Thank you
I'll-
so
I'll-
much.
I'll
That was
end share
amazing.
here.
I know there's so many questions you guys have and so much that we're going to be sharing with you as the months and the weeks and months go on, as we learn and disseminate more information out to the world about Awakened Mind, aka Brain Tap. I know we're all still getting used to the words, but in my mind, what is matters most is we're going to be making and changing a lot of lives. We're going to be making a lot of shifts in people's lives, and it's our job to be the mouthpiece. What I do want to say as a disclaimer, you've heard a ton of talk about diseases, illnesses, and things that in the direct selling world, we are not allowed to make claims. Dr. Porter is able to share data from studies, but as a field, you guys cannot go post about dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. You can't say, who has Parkinson's? Buy a headset. You can't do that. I'm going to be very clear. You want to protect not only the company, but this amazing technology we're bringing out. We will give you all the words. Right now, your words to use or your word track would be brain fitness, helping people get better balance, getting their brain to be working better, their body working better. And we all know one part of your body, you ever strain a muscle and realize, wow, without it, my whole body doesn't feel right. It's the same thing. We need to make sure, though, that we're protecting how we present this to the world. But the studies excite me. I know Dr. Porter has a lot more studies. Go get the book. You can read it, you can reference it, but you can't make medical claims. So please be careful on that. We're going to jump into my slides to close out, and I am going to share screen. However, and make sure I have the slides up. So this one looks like my PowerPoint here. And I will, you guys can see that, right? From beginning, let's see. We're good. Renee, I can see you. Yep, perfect. So for those of you who just joined us and you're learning about everything with the Awakened Mind Headset powered by Brain Tap, there's so much more to know. And we know that this was just a little bit of a taste for you, a wonderful overview by Dr. Patrick Porter. However, the company Awakened was birthed really out of a love for helping people wake up. There is an inherent power that we hold in our bodies as human beings that God gave us, and then most of us never tap into. I'm just learning at 48 years old how to tap into that amazing pharmacy, right? That our brain is. And I was listening to a session this morning that said there were 30,000 different, Dr. Porter, I want to say it wrong, 30,000 different neuro somethings.
Neurochemicals that our brain makes, but just a
Yes.
thought.
And I'm listening to it going, wow, like these are things that I'm learning, right? It's all about learning and applying knowledge and then getting it to help us shift our health. And so Awakened is really birthed on and founded on principles of health, self, and wealth. But the health and self are how you create wealth. I want to make sure you understand. Is it wonderful to become a member and help us brand the company and take it globally and get our products out to the world? Sure. Can you potentially make a side income with us? Absolutely. Can we tell you how much? No. You never know what you can do with this. I've been able to do a lot in my 13-year career in direct sales. However, the health and the self, if you focus on our product line and how extremely powerful the products and technology is, partnered with the self, which is our Awakened Mind trainings and our Awakened Body classes that are all included, you can really do something special. We have doctors from all over that are really excited about what we have here. And it is really exciting to be able to share with you that as an 8-month-old, 9-month-old company, we've got some really phenomenal MDs, NDs, surgeons, ER doctors, functional medicine doctors, hormone doctors partnered with us, and we're super proud. Zenith is our flagship product that we launched with. It's based on an 8-week clinical at UConn, which is, I'm in Connecticut. UConn's where it was done. And on average, 21.3 pounds of fat was lost during those 8 weeks in that clinical study with those participants. The placebo group lost literally half of what the group did that was on the Zenith. They all walked daily in the lab, and they all were on a calorie controlled healthy diet, which means they dropped their daily calories from what it was down 500 calories. That means take out, that bad morning cereal, or that stop going to Starbucks for that 600 calorie latte that's full of sugar. So it wasn't a massive drop in calories, and it was not a ton of working out. And yet Zenith, because of its amazing formula that is patented, it was able to help the two fat signaling hormones in our bodies to actually lower leptin, which is what makes you stay fat, and your body keeps hearing store fat, right? It's a switch. And it helps increase adiponectin, which is the amazing fat signaling hormone that helps you put on muscle. So it raised it by 116%, the adiponectin, lowered the leptin. That means they started to become very balanced naturally with a blend of cetylated fatty acids, non-fermentable, viscous, viscous plant fibers, say that 3 times fast, as well as a little bit of calcium carbonate. And it's our blend. No one else has it. We're really excited about it. These are real people in our company who are losing so much fat and putting on muscle. We're super proud. Using the headset along with it, put it in the chat if you've actually seen an increase in your fat release now that you're using Zenith, paired with the amazing programs that are dialed into the AwakendMind headset. Scott and I personally are seeing even better results. Heather, down 30 pounds. It was so good to see her in Charleston. Christine, I mean, everybody is melting away, but add the headset. In some cases, some of these people haven't used the headset, so I won't make that claim. But we have tons of people saying that now that their stress levels come down and their nervous system's starting to balance out, and their liver's not, as Dr. Porter said, releasing all that sugar into the bloodstream, it's really making the difference. It's giving me one heck of an edge in so many people. Awakened Uplift. So if I have Lisa Varga, Lisa, can you please unmute? I'm sure you probably already have your camera on. I'm going to introduce Lisa because Awakened Uplift and Awakened Unwind, which is our newest offering, this is our nootropic formula, guys. This has a hero ingredient called paraxanthine. Nobody else has it but us. No one has this blend globally. It's exclusively ours, and it is an amazing product. We will be shipping this on or before May 31st. It's looking very good that it'll ship on or before the 31st of this month. Earlier, you guys asked about the headsets. If you have ordered Uplift, everything is being held until Uplift's in, and then your Unwind, your Uplift, and your headsets will ship at the same time. If you only ordered Unwind or Unwind with a headset, those will start shipping in the next few days, and you'll hear about that. If you're in Canada, we will keep you posted. Very, very soon, we will know about the duties in Canada. It's looking like we are very close to shipping in Canada in the next, I don't know, a few days or so, business days-ish. Yes, my husband's saying very close. So Lisa, if you're on, please just let me know you're there.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, let me tell you guys who Lisa is. So Lisa is actually an actress. She's a host. She's a producer, a writer, a philanthropist. She has her own production company. She's going to be starring in a movie this fall. Congratulations. That's exciting. She has a health and wellness series that she's currently producing. And I was introduced to her through my good friend, Tina Raines, who I adore. As many of you know, she's one of our top leaders. And Lisa was someone who had a great result on some of our products. And so, Lisa, if you want to just share from the heart and let everyone know what it's been like for you. I know you're new to the Uplift and Unwind and Zenith.
Yeah, no, I'm very new. And our mutual friend, Tina, had sent me a sample. She was telling me about this brand new product. And before I can recommend anything to anybody, I have to try it myself and I have to know that it works. And so I said to Tina, do you have anything you could send me? And I think she took out of her own private stash because you guys got samples. And I have to thank her for sending me. She gave me 2. So I took one the first day, and it was honestly unbelievable because I am taking something right now that is supposed to be for mood boosting and gives me lots of energy because my schedule is so crazy. I have to have energy. I'm 52. My hormones are off the charts. And I need something. So what I was taking had so much caffeine in it to give me the energy. I felt awful. I felt good, but yet I was so jittery, and it just had a lot of really bad effects too. But I didn't want to take that away because there were parts of it I loved. So when I tried the Uplift, it gave me 10 times more energy, boosted my mood. It just made me feel great, but it didn't give me like that caffeine, jitters that I needed for the energy. The only way that I could explain it, and I said to Tina, was they're happy pills. I don't know what else to tell people except like the whole entire day, I was on just like this even keel and I was happy. And I thought, okay, what kind of drug is this? And can I take like 10 of them a day? But I only had one and I wanted to try it a second day to find out, was this a fluke thing? Is it all in my mind? Did this really work? So feeling amazing the first day, I was like, okay, well, let me try it the second day. Second day, same thing. I can't tell you like how good it made me feel. And not only did it uplift my spirits, I felt like I was like walking in this, I know it sounds so corny and this is not a sales pitch because you guys probably have all tried it and you know what I'm talking about, but you feel like you're walking on the cloud and you're like, hi, everybody. And you're just nice and you're smiling and the whole world is great. And I thought every single person on the planet needs to be on this or try this, because just those 2 days that I tried it, and I think you can take more than one a day. So I said to Tina, I go, what would it be like if you took 2 a day? How happy would you be then? But what I loved was just the combination of the energy, the clarity too. Like I had like more mental focus and it just did so many things without that jittery caffeine buzz that I had, with the other supplements I was taking. So I swear by this, and I cannot wait to get my whole bottle and I'll share it with people too. But I'm going to just order more and more. And this is going to be the one thing that I really like push, to all of my friends and family and anyone, because I am in health and wellness and everyone's always asking me, what's the newest thing? What are you taking? What are you doing to, keep going the way that you do? And this will be my number one go-to that I tell everybody about. I am in love with it. So I can't wait to get my bottle.
Tell me a little bit, did you also, you were, and I apologize, someone was texting that the slides weren't moving. You guys can see the slides, right? You see Unwind? We're good. Okay. So Lisa, you used it was the Uplift that you were speaking of, and then Unwind as well?
I tried a little bit of the Unwind. I don't know that I got like the best sample of it.
Full effect, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I need to experiment with that a little bit more. But the one thing
Absolutely.
I'll say, I did try that and it was the most bizarre. I could see it. The only way I could explain it is I saw flashing in my dreams and it was almost surreal. Like I was in a dream and I knew I was sleeping, but yet I also could see that there were these flashing lights. I slept for about 2 hours and I felt like I had slept 10 hours. It was weird. And I thought, what the heck? I looked at my clock and it was only 2 hours later. And I thought,
it's really exciting to see that Unwind is helping people get into that deeper sleep where really, truly all of your restoration, right? And your rebuilding and cellular repair happens. And so thank you for that, Lisa, because I know you're fairly new to Awakened, but I wanted you guys to hear from someone because a lot of you are waiting for Uplift, and now we've got Unwind hitting the market as well. We have a lot of people on here, so put it in the comments if you've used it and you love it. But Unwind is hands down, as someone who's in perimenopause, even though I'm very balanced hormonally, because I go to a functional medicine doctor, the sleep I'm getting now, Scott and I have 6 children combined, 2 dogs, and a multi-million-dollar business building all over the North America with you guys. We have a very busy life. We travel. Sleep gets disrupted a lot. You guys have my personal cell phone, most of you, and you know that you use it well. So I'm one of those people that sleep has been elusive to me for a long time. And I recognize now that not only does the headset with the Unwind, the headset with the Uplift, the two together are really bringing me to the next level. And I want to make sure you understand that the AwakendMind headset is phenomenal alone, but pair it with our products and programs and it's next level. It's absolutely incredible. This is a nanotechnology that you can't beat it. People are getting into sleep in 5 and 10 minutes. So please give that a try. That's just hitting the market now. Obviously, this is the Brain Tap. We will be branding it a little bit more to Awaken, but I just absolutely am in love with it. And it's the biggest blessing that's hit my life in a long time. And I'm really committed to us taking this all over the world, including into Asia, which is where we're headed next. if you become a member, there's lots of benefits to joining Awaken. We wanted to make sure you get the classes, the nourishment, the mindset, the programs. We wanted so much added value that whether you ever bought from us or not, if you just became a member and you became like just an enhanced human being and you feel like your life's better and Awaken, that is our true exciting part about being a company. What's the matter?
They're saying they're not moving.
Everyone's saying my slides are not moving. You guys aren't seeing the membership slides? They're literally moving. Do you see the momentum slide? Hold on. New share. I mean, I'll do it again, but they're all there, guys. I don't know. I'm going to try it again. How about that?
Now we're seeing it.
Oh,
Working.
oh, now they're all saying it's there, but it was there the whole time for me. Okay.
So we're good?
So I feel bad. I'm just going to go back quick and let you see what you missed. Uplift. Unwind. Aren't they pretty? We like pretty things. The brain tap, which is the AwakendMind headset. Love it. Membership benefits. All these slides are available. So I apologize if you didn't get to see them. We have these in a slide deck for anyone. We are in concentration, headed into growth. What a great place to be in a company. Before the masses know about it, it's always the place to be. Perfect timing, but if you sit there and do nothing, the timing means nothing. So I always like to throw that in. You're blessed to be in early, but don't squander it. You need to actually get up and go out and tell the world about how you feel about the products, the technology, and our amazing pillars. There's 6 ways to earn. I always tell you, listen, we've paid out over 11 million in commissions, and that's wonderful. So we do pay. But what matters more is that you go out and change some lives. And as people's lives are changed, your business will grow. People want to know that products work and that they're going to have a great result, and then they're willing to buy, right? So it's not about selling. It's about giving them something that they can really see value in. We have our digital collectibles. These are our founding members packs that are going bye-bye very soon. There was a discussion today. We might even be getting rid of the Zenith ones and just giving you the combo packs. Stay tuned on that, but these will be gone soon. Incredible value to come in at this level, but that is not the way that you have to come in. You can participate in Awakened as a customer, which we love. There's preferred customer pricing, retail customer pricing. The person who brought you on can share that with you. But we do have starter packs if you want to do what I did 13 years ago and join the network marketing industry and build something of value over time that you can be really proud of. And so we have a new starter pack coming this week, new founders packs, but there's such great packs available right now for you to get in and get participating in building the business. So just a quick overview there. And what I will say, as customers, we want you to know that regardless of whether you want to build a business or not, if you just become a customer, we want to make sure that you're supported. So we have a community where you can get support. It's called Z Community. Make sure that the person who signs you up puts you in that community so you can get all the support so that we can get you to your health goals. Because really, truly, it does take a community of knowledge and great people to cheer each other on as we all work to rebuild our health and really get to a great place in life. So Dr. Porter, thank you for being on. Lisa Varga, thank you for being on. I will make sure that next week it's going to be 8:30 Eastern. I will make sure it is posted correctly next week at 8:30 Eastern. It will be our shorter version. Dr. Porter will not be joining us next week, but we will have a presentation every Tuesday night. And I hope you take this recording and share it with the world because we have something super special. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.